Hi, I'm Mike Saville and welcome back once again to our GDPR compliance journey. This time we are talking contracts. Now, important to say that I'm not a lawyer, and so always best to seek legal advice if you're not sure. However, the GDPR does give some specific guidance on what you should expect to find in contracts. So you need to be thinking about reviewing the agreements you have with your suppliers and third parties to check that they have the required elements of GDPR included inside them. So let's go ahead and take a look at these requirements. We've got them listed on our website. So here we are at the guideline website, and we have an article on our blog about data processing contracts. And if you look at this, we've got a how-to section which talks about the required areas that we need to be looking at. So these are confidentiality, responsibilities about breach, if there's any requirement to do data protection impact assessments, how data will be deleted or recovered, any infringements, measures that should be implemented and tested, details of anybody else that is sent the data to process or onward processing, what audits or reports are available, and details of data transfers and technical measures. Those are the specifically required elements, so we just need to be checking that they are all included. So those are the areas that are mandated as part of the GDPR. Now what we've done is to review our contracts, terms of business and such like to check that those are included. So let's have a look at those of one of our major suppliers, and we'll see if those elements are there. So those of you that might have watched some of our previous GDPR journey videos, you'll know that we use Zoho for a lot of our systems, and we're quite lucky in that they seem to be taking GDPR very, very seriously. You may not always find this with your providers, but they have a GDPR readiness statement on their website and talks about how they are preparing some of the measures that they are putting in place, and so therefore that enables us to check that some of the implementation and measures that are required as part of the contractual terms have been implemented by Zoho. There are further documents that they provide that enable us to see the sorts of things that they're doing. So as an example, there is a terms of service which talks about infringement, the service they provide, who the information might be sent to, obligations of ourselves and of Zoho, who they transfer information to, how we lodge a complaint, and this also links into their own privacy policy, which again has been updated to be in line with GDPR requirements. So this talks about the use of data, transfers, children's protection, how information is stored. So really the message is that we're getting a good feeling from Zoho. We're pulling out from these different documents, which overall form our contract with them, the kinds of information we need to check that we have the agreements in place that give us the confidence that they are doing what we need. It's not always the case with all our providers that they are doing what they need to do, and so there's an ongoing piece of work to check those requirements. However, I hope that by showing you these few documents, and in the case of Zoho, you can see we have a terms and conditions, we have a privacy notice, and we have GDPR statements from the suppliers themselves, that together these documents help us to check the contractual and the agreement position that we have with these organisations. So there you have it. That's a quick review on how we've checked with Zoho. We've done similar reviews with other suppliers, and in some cases we have sent questionnaires and forms out for suppliers to fill in to check that they are doing what they need to be doing. I hope you found that useful. Next time we're talking about training. So until then, we hope you find your compliance simple.